infrastructure ecospace, and we're really, really very assured that with the support we got from the first set of pension fund administrators who invested with us, it's going to be a much easier journey now. Wow, does that mean I'm out of time? Okay. It's going to be a much easier journey now, and you can be sure that we'll be back in the market really very soon to raise the second round of this. One of the very exciting things that I like about the Infrastructure Debt Fund is it has a three-pronged approach. One, there's a huge social impact, and we're very big on that, right? And you'll agree with me that that's something that's very, very much at top of mind for investors. Okay, so you pick any color you want. What color do we? Okay, so you can just exit the X and sign. Yes, please. Let's make it count. Absolutely. Fantastic. And then Mr. Southwell.
Can I change the color?
Absolutely, yes. Yes, you can. So, blue.
Blue.
We like that. We like that
okay?
too. Yes. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I think we have one more thing to present, but it's really a symbol, again, a symbol of today, and that will be held, and the group will probably sort of take a picture around it. But because we've got a fancy ribbon around it, I think would like it to be unveiled. So I'd like to invite Mr. Wale Edo, please, Mr. Bolaji Balogun, Mr. Philip Southwell, Mr. Bola Onodele, okay, yes, make it a surprise for everyone. And then the pair of scissors is here for Mr. Adrian. But we want to watch him cutting it as well. Yes.
We'll turn it out.
We'll turn it around after it's cut.
To the debt capital markets. FMDQ.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Awesome, awesome. Thank you very much. Great, thank you very much.
Can I keep it?
It's for Chapel Hill. It's for Chapel Hill. Mr. Onodele, please, just like to invite you to give us a few words in closing. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much to me, and good morning once again, distinguished guests. This is a special occasion in FMDQ for so many reasons. Not only because of the people here today, but the history that binds all of us together. And some of them Bolaji talked about as well. But we're here to celebrate Chapel Hill Denham's remarkable achievement with the issuance of the Nigerian Infrastructure Debt Fund, the first ever of its kind in Nigeria and sub-Saharan Africa. And who else could have taken such a bold step to look at Nigerians' challenges and decide to proffer solutions but Chapel Hill? Their deep commitment towards the development of the Nigerian capital markets is unquestionable. As a matter of fact, in 2015, when FMDQ hosted the Nigerian Debt Capital Markets Workshop, Chapel Hill supported that initiative with their presentation and appeal to market participants with respect to funding for infrastructure projects to tackle Nigeria's growing infrastructure deficit. And the role of capital markets was emphasized by Mr. Balogun. As my colleague to me said earlier, Chapel Hill doesn't just talk, they walk the talk. They have proved that we can move Nigeria forward. Their act on their goals and conquering new frontiers is unprecedented. Chapel Hill has always highlighted the mismatch between the time horizon of banking loans and the projects of this nature in Nigeria. And of course, the following liquidity challenges. It is a thing of pride for us at FMDQ that the Pioneer NIDF is being listed on the OTC exchange, as it is another pillar supporting the success of the fund. Through the listing, as I hinted earlier, the fund will be benefiting from the vibrancy and liquidity of the Nigerian debt capital market and the growing sophistication of the investor base. The benefits of the fund for each stakeholder category and also the market itself are numerous, but I emphasize the latter. The listing of the fund creates diversity and will enhance liquidity in the debt capital market, which will prove to provide other avenues for investors. This no doubt creates depth and makes it a more attractive market both locally and globally. We see this as the first step of long-awaited journey, but the impact, of course, despite the amount Mr. Balogun talked about, is truly significant. He talked about his dream and probably hoping that it will not take 40-something years for us to unlock the potentials of the Nigerian economy. We encourage investors from all the various stakeholder classes to take part in this fund one way or another. Chapel Hill has clearly demonstrated high standards in terms of ensuring adequate governance is maintained over this fund, and this will continue to ensure remains the case through our surveillance and examination franchise. FMDQ is very passionate about the Nigerian economy. And in FMDQ, we have the Financial Market Support for Economic Development Work Group, chaired by Dr. Wura Abiola. I recently, on your behalf, Dr. Abiola, invited Mr. Ayogbile to support that work group. We've mentioned the benefits of the fund and FMDQ's role and mission, as I said, and you see on our newly launched website, if you have not seen it, please go to that website, is to empower the Nigerian financial markets to be innovative and credible in support of the Nigerian economy. This fund is innovative. We intend to uphold the governance required. So the pension industry is assured that the investors' funds they manage are protected. Against the backdrop of Nigeria's relatively low debt to GDP rate, we at FMDQ consider this to be cause for alarm because we appreciate the important role to be played by debt funding in economic development. Let me share some statistics with you. Nigeria's debt to GDP ratio, which could be said to be how much a country leverages its wealth, is 15%, compared to UK's 130%, United States 175%, and South Africa, our so-called competitors in Africa, 120%. Mr. Balogun, you have a lot of work. We felt it necessary to create awareness about the debt capital market when we organized the workshop in 2015. As a fallout of that workshop, we set up a project office. In the past, growing up in banking, we had conferences and everyone would go back to the offices. But the Mr. Balogun-led initiative established a project office in FMDQ, of which 2 subcommittees were established. And I should mention them. Mr. Balogun sits as the co-chair of the steering committee over this whole transformation project, aligned with the capital market master plan of the Securities and Exchange Commission. He chairs the
FMDQ.